Hello. I have some things to show when it comes to calcium carbonate, limestone, the Philosopher's Stone. Let's go. So, as I said in the last video, it seems like it's a new realization for me that the most pure form of calcium carbonate is red. The most, I repeat, the most pure version of calcium carbonate is red. And so that's pretty cool because, as I said also, as I mentioned in the last video, there is a lesser variant of the Philosopher's Stone which is white or transparent like glass, and I guess that's calcite, or limestone in general has the same density as calcite and as marble, so they are more or less the same crystal form. The crystal is how this atom calcium carbonate. So many of you know about that there are molecules and they stuck together with ion connection or van der Waal connection and different kind of connection in atoms, and I guess hydrogen connections. There are different kind of connections between atoms, but then there are also another type of connection, and that's the connection between the molecules, the intermolecular bindings, which results in different crystalline forms. And here the most pure version of calcium carbonate is Aragonite, has the highest density, and you can see even here in this visualization that you can see that they stick together closer, but it's actually also it's purer. It's purer, but it's also less stable in this form. It wants to turn back to calcite, and so you can see it as this in chemistry or alchemy. They want to distill, purify, and so on, so that they reach a higher purity. And you maybe know about, you can see this chemist, and it is boiling something, and on the other side there's only one little drop, you see, coming out on the other side, and it's smaller, it becomes smaller, just like the Aragonite is smaller because it has higher density, you see. So it goes from this state of less pure or less dense going into denser. It's not necessarily with this distillation. I don't think that's the way it happens, but this is just a way to show it to you that it's purer in this form. It's the purest form, and that's red, and it fits pretty well with how it actually is. And so I realized, I read a bit more, I realized that pearls, and this is mainly in the ocean, or when it's either when it comes to life, when life is involved in water environment, or when it's heat and pressure and high concentration of calcium carbonate. This can happen. It can become it's rarer. It's much rarer than limestone. As you can see, it looks a bit more cool. You see, it's red and these things, and so yeah, I realized that the pearl has this, and there is all this Christian art with the Trinity artwork where they have this pearl. You see, the artists get a download from God or something, so they paint this pearl everywhere, the pearl of the Philosopher's Stone, in my opinion, they are painting. And so I got the idea, let's just search for Jesus and Aragonite, because I know that Jesus is one. It represents vision and the all-seeing eye. It somewhat represents that when it comes to Jesus Christ. So I decided, just let's search for that, and that's the way I found this, right? The only it is this Shroud of Turin, and it is the cloth that Jesus Christ was buried in, supposedly, and so they are finding pieces of not calcium, calcium carbonate in the form of aragonite. This they even write themselves in this PDF, or how do you say, research stuff article, that it is rare, it is aragonite, and so they find this. I find it interesting that in relation to this, one of the only artifacts, maybe the only artifact, where you actually see the supposed, you see, it's supposed, I'm not saying it is the face, but you can see that there is some kind of face in this, and so where this is, they find this aragonite, which as I said, it symbolizes the vision, the pearl, and so it's here, and I think that's very cool, I must say. And how rare is it? Well, Google think it's rare, and when you look at prices for it and so on, it seems pretty rare. I mean, but yeah, so that's what I wanted to say. I think it's quite fascinating. So see you guys another time.